Animal Crossing New Leaf is the best Animal Crossing game, is what most of the fanbase says. But I want to test that by playing 30 days of every Animal Crossing game, starting of course with the first one. We begin this journey with a little message from KK Slider. He seems to be aware of us moving out on our own for the first time and gives us a few words of encouragement. Thanks, buddy. This is also the beginning of the fourth wall breaking that this game does surprisingly too much of. I'm not kidding, by the way, so you'll just have to watch to find out. But enough talking with KK, it's time to get on the train to our new home. And that's when someone else approaches us. He, totally snitches on when I started recording this. Cause yes, the Animal Crossing games run on the actual time of day it is. This is the part of the game where we have weird banter with our new friend Rover, and we get to type in our name and the town we're going to. I completely messed up typing my name, so sorry if that bothers you. And from there you choose if you want a boy or a girl model with the cool or cute question. I completely struggled with what I wanted to name my town, and decided by looking at the most dangerous cities in the US, which is how I stumbled upon Cleveland. No, not Cleveland. I couldn't type it all in. Rover asked a bunch of questions about why we're going to the town and where we're going to be living. All of these questions determine what your face looks like, and I didn't pre-plan this. So once I got off the train arriving in Cleveland, I saw my new look. Oh my god. Oh, I look bad. Oh, holy shit, I'm here. What's up, gamers? Oh. We're greeted by Tom Nook, who laughs at us for moving to a town without having any housing preparations. Rude. And since we obviously have no house, I get to take a look at the 4 available plots in this cute little area. Out of all the houses, I actually think I went for the worst one, as the floor was literally just steel. But that's when we come to an even bigger issue. I do not have money at all. He sits there laughing at me, which was so mean. I'm broke, leave me alone. I don't know where his kindness comes from, but it appeared, and he let me keep the house if I work for him. And this is how we get introduced to the acre system. Every square on the map is a different acre. Honestly, it's a pretty interesting system. Looking at the map, I also get to take a peek at who my neighbors are. I went and said hello to Ursula, Peaches, Fang, and Chico, missing out on Puddles and Cobb, who were also in the town. They're actually pretty hostile towards me, so I guess I have a long journey to go on to make them like me. While on my stroll, I met Copper, who is a policeman stationed in the middle of town, and then visited the Able sisters. Mabel being super welcoming, Sable, on the other hand, not having too much to say. Instead of going into my job though, I actually went straight to sleep, using my gyroid to save my first day's progress, leading us into day number 2, which opens up with my first day of work. The first thing Tom Nook did was make me get into uniform, which doesn't look too bad. The second thing was plant some pretty flowers and trees. Now, I don't know how this will help me get money, but I'm supposed to go and introduce myself to all the townsfolk, and especially the mayor. On my way to find the villagers I didn't talk to before, I found the dump, I guess? Really excited about the soccer ball though. I found Cobb and Puddles, and eventually made my way to the wishing well to see the mayor. He's kinda weird, but will apparently be very useful during the holidays. Finally, I get into actual work as now I have to hand deliver a furniture order, write advertisements to villagers, it really just looks like song lyrics, and then help out the villagers individually. The first person I bumped into was Ursula, and after asking, she wanted me to get the camera that she left over at Fang's. What I wasn't expecting though was Fang lending the camera to Cobb. Is that not weird to lend someone else's item to someone else? So I had to go over where Ursula was and find Cobb. He said he didn't forget about it. Yeah, okay. But I gave back the camera and got 488 bells in return. This was enough time for Tom Nook to grab something else for me to do, and now I have another delivery that I need to be quick with. He's being incredibly stern. And even though I just got into town, she was about to file a complaint for taking too long? Literally, how is that my fault? This is like my 30th minute on the job. Like I said earlier, these people are a little hostile. And after poor shaming me, told me that I need to get my debt covered to get a better carpet and wallpaper. Good advice my neighbors are giving giving me so far, but I returned to Nook and received a hefty compensation. The second task I had to deliver was an axe to Peaches, who was so happy about my, wonderful letter, so I guess that advertising worked. Speaking of advertising, the last thing in store was writing an advertisement on the town's bulletin board. What was the one rule? Don't embarrass Tom Nook. And with all the tasks done, I don't have to work for Tom Nook again. Yup, this one day was it. Now it is up to me to pay off the remaining 17,400 bells. Luckily, he gives me a bunch of ideas on how to earn more cash, but it's up to me. I messed around in my room for a bit and changed out of my uniform into an outfit that I found at the dump. My first order of solo business, though, was collecting anything around the town to make me money, like seashells at the beach and fruit in the trees. Each town has its own individual fruit, and my town just so happened to be pears out of the 6 available. I really thought this would give me more money than it did, but I was wrong. I'm still gonna try and sell as much as I can lying around though, cause literally anything helps to pay off this debt. The only annoying thing is not being able to select everything all at once. I have to do it one at a time. And now that I'm rich, I'm immediately spending money on a shovel. Maybe while I do some tasks from villagers, I'll be able to find reasons to use said shovel. I bump into Cobb first. I asked if he wanted me to do anything for him, and he actually says yes. Fang, again, has refused to give back an item. So I have to go back over to his house to get Cobb's organizer. Again, what the hell? An organizer? Luckily, Fang had it with him this time, so I was able to collect it easily. But on my way back, I did find a little shovel opportunity, as there is just a glowing patch of grass. Digging it up, I found 1,000 bells. Funny enough, in some of the other games, you can rebury the money to make a money tree, but I don't know how that works in this version, and it'll take a long time for me to figure that out, so I kind of just lose a bunch of money for a bit. In the meantime, I found another dig spot, but this time I dig up a fossil. We'll get back to that. I go back to Cobb and give him back his organizer, expecting money, but no, I got stationary. Oh I did not expect him to call me out. How did he know? Whereas that did not help out my debt journey, it did help me find a fossil, which I decided to take to the museum. This is where I found a sleeping little owl named Blathers. I asked him what this place even was, and got told about the Faraway Museum. The museum here in Cleveland is just a little branch of that museum, and it also has absolutely nothing to look at. Yeah, there's nothing here. So it's up to me, again, to try and donate things like paintings, bugs, fossils, and fish to grow the collection. I tried to donate the fossil I got, but Blathers explains that I actually have to send it to the other museum through the mail. They're the ones who are gonna assess it and then send it back to me, which is a lot more work than I thought it would be. The official last thing I did for the day was writing villagers letters, since they previously said they enjoyed them. I didn't know that I needed to write actual letters to make them happy, but this becomes an issue later. Just wait. And after sending those off, I officially signed out for the day. Day 3 started with me being cordially invited to have the Faraway Museum look at my fossils for me, which means I can now start working on the fossil exhibit in the museum. I went to go check out Nook's, but sadly, there was nothing for me to buy in the shop, so I got to doing other activities. I asked Cobb if he needed me to do anything, and to my surprise, no. I didn't know that they could say no. Same thing with Ursula and Peaches. Absolutely nothing for me to do. On my way to the beach, I accidentally bumped the ball into the water. I was really sad about this. But I discovered a new person while I was there. And after trying to wake him up multiple times, I got to talk with Gulliver, a seagull that washed up on the shore after falling off of his ship. This is a regular occurrence, and he will show up again. But for his thanks, he gives mementos from his travels, like the merlion that is now pouring water into my room. After this, I checked with the cops. He warned me of this fellow named Wendell, a wander that will appear on November 8th. Tomorrow. But that's all the info I got. But I did decide to go into the police station this time, meeting Booker, and also being able to steal anything I wanted. Yeah, I could just steal from the cops. This game is wild. Get it? Oh my god, I didn't realize I made that joke. That's funny. Haha, hilarious. Thank you, thank you. Since I'm already doing a round of talking to NPCs, I went and talked to the Able sisters. Still not really getting a response from Sable, but we'll get there. I had been picking up a bunch of seashells to try and get more money, but as I passed my house to head to Nook's, I realized I had a bunch of letters. And this is what I meant earlier by writing actual letters. All of my villagers were upset with me because I didn't write actual letters. And it made me so sad, so I just got rid of all of them. But now I know. At the end of the day, I sent off the fossils I had collected to be assessed, and then contributed to my debt, now only needing 7,400 bells left. I also changed the town tune, which is the jingle you'll hear when walking into buildings. Editor's note, I haven't been using the in-game sound in the video so far, because it's hard to edit with background music. Sorry. But let me know what song you think this is in the comments. Day 4, I woke up to getting my fossils back in the mail from the other museum. I got an Apatow tail, T-Rex torso, and a piece of amber, all now being displayed in Cleveland's museum. After this, I did a little quest for puddles, but ran into a house I don't remember being there. Yeah, a new villager arrived all of a sudden, and let me tell you, I hate her. I know my villagers have been pretty hostile, but they haven't been outright mean to me. Like, what is that? I want her gone. Now. In better news, there was a better selection at Nook's today, which allowed me to get a net. Yep, now I can catch bugs. I did not, realize how hard this would be. I am much worse at it than I thought. But I was able to catch a long-headed locust, a migratory locust, and a cockroach. Of course, all of them having funny quotes after catching each of them. Why the long head? Face? Whatever. These were my first bug donations to the museum, and surprisingly, even though he's an owl, Blathers hates bugs. Bro does not want to touch these things. After I was done with that though, I did do some quests for my villagers, but I do think that it was pretty fun. The villagers can just ask you to bring them the ball sitting around town. It was a little difficult, but really funny. The last thing on my mind was looking for fossils, but along the way, I found Wendell, the guy I learned about yesterday. He was really hungry, and I tried giving him fruit, but he wasn't having it. Apparently, he gives you something special for a fish, but I don't have those at the moment, so there's not really anything I could do. The day officially ended with me getting some new drip, guess the cosplay, and sending off my fossils to be assessed. The start of day 5 is not what I was expecting, as a mole appeared. You know how I said this game breaks the fourth wall? Well, Rossetti is here to yell at me for exiting the game without saving. I accidentally started playing the game on the wrong day. But I let him get it out of his system, and hopefully I won't have to be yelled at again. I spent the first half of the day doing quests and donating fossils, but I eventually got a new tool, the fishing pole. There was a bunch of fish to donate, so I got started on that, and even found a painting I also needed just buried in the ground. I also sold all the fish I didn't donate to actually completely clear my debt. Yup, I am debt-free for 2 seconds. Because immediately, Nook asked me if I wanted to upgrade again, and I said, absolutely. The last thing I did for the day was visit Sable at the tailoring store, because I'm still trying to get her to be my friend. And meet the newest villager in my town, Pippi. Day 6, I found Chico by the river fishing, which I thought was a little weird, but no, there is a fishing tourney that apparently goes on every Sunday and ends at 6 p.m. I started this day at 5 p.m. I don't really have a lot of time left. I found this beaver named Chip, and he explained that my goal was to catch the biggest bass. I thought a sea bass would work, as those were pretty common, but no, there's actually just a normal bass in the river. I collected a couple to take to Chip, and this 17-inch bass has nothing on Peach's 21, so I knew I had to get serious. Portimer, who was also here, noticed that I was a part of the fishing tourney and gave me a trophy that contains good luck. Obviously, I tested this theory by catching more bass, and no, none of them, not even my large bass, was at all big enough. So yeah, I don't really think I like fishing tourneys. But with all the fishing I did, I obviously got more museum donations as well as money by selling all the extras. With this new money, I got an axe, a new tool that I will use to chop a couple annoying trees that are right on the edge of the camera. But for now, it's time to move to Day 7. There is another new villager, Kiki, and unlike Mint, she's actually the goat. I love her, she's very sweet. Other than collecting fossils and having more conversations with Sable, that was it for Day 7. Okay, not even 3 days have gone by and the mole appears again. I really did not mean to this time. Of course, I go through his scolding and am finally able to get on with my day, like meeting another villager. Weber, a nice duck that now occupies the town. And as his welcoming gift, I decided to cut down a lot of the horrible trees next to his house. Day 9 was pretty simple as I just did a bunch of villager quests, but Day 10, I got a little angry. Doing my rounds around the town, I bumped into a car. Yeah, a car, occupied by the famous fashion designer, Gracie. She insults me before she starts talking about her wonderful car and how it needs to be cleaned by me because her clothes are too pretty to be ruined. Yeah, okay. The objective was to spam the A button, but apparently I just wasn't good enough because boy was she mad. I've never been shooed by an animal. It's usually the other way around. That, surprisingly, is not the end of the drama for today though. As I went to visit Sable, she told me all about how Tom Nook was underselling her and her sister's clothes. Yeah, the joke that Tom Nook is actually a bad money-hungry person is real. They deserve better. Of course, I had to end the day by making a payment to the man himself. The next morning, I got a letter in the mail telling me that Nook is actually renovating and I can't use the store today. Yes, I helped the business a lot when I worked there, but nothing really interesting happened today. I got a letter in the mail on Day 12, but this time it was actually the reopening of Nook and Go. But not only that, a mysterious letter from someone named Red. Yes, we have to wait a couple more days to see them though. Nook and Go, however, looks so much better, with even more selection, but of course, the same awful tanuki. The day was actually spent cutting down so many trees, and on my way to look for them, I ran into my new villager, Cousteau. Yeah, there's a new villager. I didn't know about it either. This puts the count at 11, and I really don't know when they're gonna stop showing up. Apparently not Day 13, because there's another villager. Hello? Oh! Oh, my cute little fella! I haven't met you before, Nutcase. Oh, what the f— why do you call me Nutcase? Not exactly the greeting I was expecting, but this day is a little different, as I streamed it entirely on Twitch. And yes, you should totally go follow it, but I'm super close to hitting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so maybe we can reach that before the end of the year. Wink wink. It is actually another Sunday, so we have a fishing tourney, but this time I only have 8 minutes. So I quickly caught a bass and then went to chip. I'm gonna say it's like 15. Ah! Oh, you bitch! Nothing else even mattered because within 2 seconds of trying to fish, the score jumped by a lot. Maybe fishing tourneys in every game are just not for me. But I had a different objective today, as this was the day the mysterious Red was arriving. This black market was supposed to be full of good wares, but it was actually quite pathetic and extremely expensive. Oh my god! I had my money saved up for this though, and decided to let chat pick what we should buy. And of course, y'all went with the hazmat barrel. Thanks guys. So obviously, I had to spend the last end of the day decorating my room with it. I also played Day 14 on stream, but nothing really happened other than planting some flowers and finding just one new fish. Day 15 was also pretty boring, as I just did some quests. I thought I was safe, but no, we have a new villager this time, Biddy, a hippo. And I didn't really have a plan for today, so I just did a bunch of side quests, like getting Ursula's Pokemon Pikachu back for her, insane crossover, and settling more of my debt. At night, however, it's not the usual pelican. It's Phyllis, who is an asshole, but I guess I'm just used to it at this point. Day 17, I kind of screwed myself over because I started playing really early in the morning, and most of my villagers just decided to go back to sleep. So I collected a crap ton of fossils and ended the day. The morning of day 18, I sensed something in the town. I had a gut feeling. I was like, I'm just gonna check my map to see if I have any new villagers. Who the heck is Midge? Is that a bird? Surprisingly, I was allowed to ask her if she needed any help, and apparently she sent her camera to Ricky a while back, which is not possible. But that's not the only quest I did, as I got to help Kiki get her handkerchief as well. Day 19, I do have an objective, which was to make a piece of clothing at the Able Sisters. I wanted it to look like my channel banner, and I kind of did it without looking, so I made it backwards. Whoops. But now I get to wear my own design around town. Another day, another dinosaur complete, and another fishing tourney. Sadly, but actually maybe not, because the highest amount was just 19. And after some entries, the title was mine. Fun fact, I only let myself play about an hour a day because if not, the video would be way too long. And I started this day at 2 p.m. Fishing tourneys end at 6 p.m. So I really just have to pray I wake up in the morning and nobody took the title. Dude, I can't have anything in this game! The fishing must continue though, because there's a bunch of fish I need to donate. And a lot of them just depend on the season, like this bluegill that I just donated. And luckily, fishing is really nice because it's basically the best way to try and clear my debt, and that is going really well. Only 9,000 left. Even better on day 22, since I keep getting repeat dinosaurs and they sell for a lot, I got that debt cleared so fast, earning me, of course, a basement and another debt, but I'm going to gloss over that. Now, there's just one more thing I need to clear fast. Gracie's car. Why is she here again? No clue, but getting this car clear just means she'll leave faster. Wiped the competition, and she said she had a prize for me. But since she's an esteemed fashion designer, I was expecting a lot. I buried it. It can't hurt me anymore. Crazy enough, I scared the shit out of myself because yeah, there's another villager. Hopefully she won't say anything about the evidence hidden by her house. Day 23, I'm able to decorate my room a little better as I get to put all my random items now in the basement. Goodbye, Tower of Pisa. This was a pretty interesting day since Tortimer showed up asking me if I wanted to put a new bridge in the town. I totally do, just not where he wanted to put it. I said yes though, so hopefully it gets used. The last thing was talking to Ursula about what she would do on her date with her boyfriend. She asked me if sandwiches and root beer were okay, but I'm a Dr. Pepper girly, but I guess it's fine. I will pause to say, as all the animals have different personalities, I actually have quite a few mean ones, like the cranky and snooty types, but at least I have a variety. Day 24 is the Harvest Festival, equivalent to like Thanksgiving, and on my way to the fountain to see if that's where everyone will be, I ran into someone. Franklin was frightened to see me, expecting me to hurt him for some reason. He explains that Tortimer sent him an invitation to be a guest in the festival, but not the way you think. What? Cannibalism? That's pure cannibalism. You can't even write that off. They're all animals. Not only Tortimer, but also my neighbors are trying to catch him. Am I helping him make sure he doesn't get eaten for Thanksgiving? Seriously? Yeah, that's literally it. As expected, a lot of the villagers were at the fountain, all wondering where the main feast is. I actually wasted a lot of the day confused as to what to do, but Franklin wanted me to take the knife and fork to make sure no one could eat him. Insane, by the way. Cannot believe I have to do this. As thanks for getting the tools, he does give me some furniture, ending our convo, asking me to not tell people where he is. Buddy, I think you're found out. Like, yeah. Oh, there's a duck too. Yeah, you're screwed. Sorry, buddy. I woke up the morning of day 25 a little traumatized, but other than that, went to Nook's, expecting normal merchandise, but no. Though I was able to get this cute little fish outfit, everything else was basically blind bags. At the end of the day, I almost bought all of them and was able to make my room just a tad cuter, selling the rest that I didn't want. I heard whispers of KK being in town on Saturday, and they were right. This is basically the credits of the game while he sings me a nice little song. Only really highs this day while I completed another dinosaur, the Stegosaurus, and even got a cherry that I can plant in my town to hopefully make a cherry tree. A cherry tree you will not be seeing, as this challenge will end before then. So sorry. The morning of December 1st, I have a new NPC. This is Joan, and she sells turnips. Turnips in this franchise are like the stock market. The goal is to make more money than what you spent for them. So I bought myself about 30. I was generous, but I didn't want them hogging my inventory, so I chucked them outside, hoping that I could sell them on day 28. No. Nook is remodeling, so I cannot, in fact, do that. But what I can do is collect fish that are now available in December. Okay, so that isn't the end of my troubles though, because my game actually crashed. You know what that means? Resetty's back, baby! He may be mad at me, but I don't even care. I lost so much progress that I'm actually kind of upset. So once that was over, I needed to do everything again. Surprisingly, being pretty successful, allowing me to do a bunch of museum donations. On the other hand, I can't sell the leftover fish, so I guess I'll just have to wait. Second to last day, and I get to check out Nook's new store. And this place is nice, especially with all its new items, like this sign that I used to my fullest potential. And selling a lot of the items I had yesterday allowed me to clear my last debt. Thank God. Since it's the second to last day though, I really did prioritize talking to my villagers, as I think I'm actually gonna miss them. Maybe not Mint, but everyone else, probably. I was, planning to end the day on a high note, but I didn't get that luxury as I found this in the ground. Why was there a hamster cage buried? First off, they want to eat a turkey. Now they're burying hamsters? Guys, I'm terrified. Guys, I'm so scared. Guys, I'm so scared. Day 30, the last day. I headed to Nook's where he told me about my new debt. Thank God this is the last day. You think I'm paying that back? Nope. Since it's the last day though, I did sell my turnips, not making that much of a profit, but I really don't have any more time. I redecorated my house again, specifically adding this cute gyroid. But other than that, I feel pretty content. There's just nothing else I could do that would matter. Obviously, this was my first time playing, so there's definitely a lot in the game that I missed, but you can totally tell me in the comments on your way to hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I can see you when the next video comes out.